Hello everyone, I am finally back here with a new video. I'm so sorry that I've been gone a while. I've been in the process of moving and it's taken a little bit longer than I expected, and I still don't have internet yet at my new apartment. So I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna get this uploaded, but we will figure it out. So over the past week or so, one of my videos titled something like Jesus versus Muhammad Part 1 Women, I think that's the title. It has gotten a lot of popularity and it's drawn a lot of new people to this channel. So if you're new here, hello, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. But if I'm completely honest with you guys, I did consider deleting my channel because I started this channel as a way to share things I wish I had known as a Muslim, to share what the Hadith actually says, what the Quran actually says, who the Prophet actually was, and who Jesus is compared to all of that. And so my heart's desire was to just share straight from the scriptures, to see, what they had to say and to let you guys draw your own conclusions. But I was not expecting to have so many people watch, and with so many people come so many opinions and so much criticism, and I'm just here to share. I'm not here to argue with anyone. I'm not here to debate with anyone. I am just simply opening up the books and reading what they have to say. That being said, if I come across as offensive, I am so sorry. That is not my intention at all whatsoever. With this video, I'm gonna try as hard as I can to keep my own personal opinions out of it and just simply read what the texts have to say. So with all that being said, I know, super long intro, we are going to be taking a deep dive into the most trusted hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari, and into the Bible to see what Jesus and Muhammad had to say about persecution, about retaliation, about how to treat your enemies, and things like that. So again, I'm just going to be reading what the texts have to say, and with all that being said, let's dive in. Sahih al-Bukhari number 2785. Narrated Abu Huraira, a man came to Allah's messenger and said, "Instruct me as to such a deed as equals jihad in reward." He replied, "I do not find such a deed." Sahih al-Bukhari number 2792. Narrated Anas bin Malik, the Prophet said, "A single endeavor of fighting in Allah's cause in the forenoon or in the afternoon is better than the world and whatever is in it." Sahih al-Bukhari number 2811. Narrated Abu Abs, Allah's messenger said, "Anyone whose both feet get covered with dust in Allah's cause will not be touched by the hellfire." Sahih al-Bukhari number 2946. Narrated Abu Huraira, Allah's apostle said, "I have been ordered to fight with the people till they say, 'None has the right to be worshipped but Allah,' and whoever says, 'None has the right to be worshipped but Allah,' his life and property will be saved by me, except for Islamic law, and his accounts will be with Allah, either to punish him or to forgive him." Sahih al-Bukhari number 3051. Narrated Salama bin al-Aqwa, an infidel spy came to the Prophet while he was on a journey. The spy sat with the companions of the Prophet and started talking and then went away. The Prophet said to his companions, "Chase and kill him." So I killed him. The Prophet then gave him the belongings of the killed spy in addition to his share of the war booty. Sahih al-Bukhari number 2954. Narrated Abu Huraira, Allah's messenger sent us on military expedition, telling us, "If you find such and such persons," he named 2 men from Quraysh, "burn them fire." Then we came to bid him farewell. When we wanted to sit out, he said, "Previously I ordered you to burn so and so with fire, but as punishment with fire is done by none except Allah, if you capture them, kill them instead." A really common claim of Muslims is that every single prophet taught the same thing, that all the prophets were the same in essence, and they all worshiped Allah, and they all taught the same thing. So now we are going to turn to the Bible and see what Jesus said about some of these same topics. Matthew chapter 6, verse 43. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Matthew chapter 10, verses 16 through 23. Behold, I am sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves, so be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of men, for they will deliver you over to courts and flog you in their synagogues, and you will be dragged before governors and kings for my sake, to bear witness before them and the Gentiles. Jesus is saying, as a believer, persecution will come. It is inevitable. Verse 19, when they deliver you over, do not be anxious how you are to speak or what you are to say. For what you are to say will be given to you in that hour. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. And then we're going to flip over to Matthew chapter 26, verse 52. This is talking about the sword specifically. Then Jesus said to him, put your sword back into its place, for all who take the sword will perish by the sword. A common verse that Muslims will often take out of context is Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. So I'm going to read the whole passage to you. Jesus says, do not think that I have come to bring peace on the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a person's enemies will be those of his own household. So you might be quick to say, well, look, right here in the very first verse, Jesus says he comes to bring a sword and not peace. But if you look at the original text, which is written in Hebrew, the word for sword actually translates to a word more like scepter. And a scepter is not usually used as a weapon, it's used as a dividing thing. And here in this passage, Jesus is talking about how following him will cause family division. Not everyone is going to approve of your decision to follow him, especially in your own family. So here, the word sword doesn't even indicate violence at all. It's simply talking about family division. And the last section we're going to read is in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verses 14 through 21. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own sight. Repay no one evil for evil, but give thought to do what is honorable in the sight of all. If possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. To the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. For by doing so, you will heap burning coals on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. God is saying there, treat your enemies kindly. Take care of them. Give them food if they're hungry. Give them water if they're thirsty. This will shock and surprise them so much. And that is all I'm going to read today for you guys. I fully encourage you to open up these books and read these words for yourselves. Draw your own conclusions, have your own opinions. Just get into these books and you will find the truth.